So our next speaker has done his PhD actually, given that he's Dr. Martin Graff. And he's going to be taking us through preparing for a first date. He's going to do it with us.
Whoa!
Yeah, so my name is Martin Graff, and just in case you think I'm strange, which you might do anyway, I'm talking about this from a kind of academic point of view. So I'm a psychologist. It's not my personal experiences. There may be a little bit later on, but certainly I'm going to try and give you a bit more kind of theory on this. Anyway, so to start off with, imagine there's about 1.5 million people in Merseyside, which I think there is because I looked it up last night. But if you want to go on a date with anybody, 1.5 million people, potential people, well not really, because half of the wrong sex, half of the wrong sex preference, you're going to end up with maybe a very small number of people such as this. So you've got to make that kind of first date count very much. And this is after Frank Drake's equation about the chances of being extraterrestrial life in the universe, but hey ho. Anyway, firstly, so how you smell. Well, unfortunately, how you smell to somebody else we call histocompatibility. So, you know, how we smell naturally makes us either more or less attractive to other people, unfortunately. However, you can do something about it, because, you know, take a shower before you go out at least. You know, good oral hygiene, and good hygiene anyway, is a good thing, and bad hygiene is certainly a deal breaker, especially amongst Australians, I think. But anyway, that's the case. Second thing to consider is maybe what you wear. Wearing red, that's just an excuse to show you a picture of me running, but wearing red at least is important, and it makes people more attractive if you wear red. Yeah, so something to bear in mind. The research on that is the jury's out a little bit, so actually just standing in a red environment can make you more attractive anyway, and we're pretty lucky here because it looks a bit red around the room here. So just standing, you know, with this red background hopefully makes me more attractive. I don't know if it does or not. Next thing, take your date to a good location. You can be attractive by association. So if your date, you know, has a good time, okay, then it makes you more attractive just by association. One trick is maybe to take your date somewhere more exciting, such as this. And we know that you know, if people are frightened and then they see you after they're frightened, they will find you more attractive. That's true. Okay? We call that the excitation transfer effect. Okay, so take your date on a you know, scary ride. Movement as well. Make sure you stand up straight. It kind of advertises strength and youth. If you stand up straight and walk in with that kind of, you know, confident swagger. Also in terms of movement as well, you know, doing things like what we call behaviour matching and movement synchrony. Okay, that indicates a degree of rapport between you and your date. Okay, don't make it too obvious. If they drink, you drink. You know, don't do it like that. But at least make it subtle, and then you can maybe establish a little bit of rapport by engaging in this kind of thing. Take some conversation with you as well, so don't let the conversation run dry. That you've got some conversation you can use throughout the date. Disclosure of information sometimes as well is important. It makes people like you if you disclose, you know, little bits of, you know, secret information, not too much. But maybe humour is a bit off bounds, I think, because you don't know what someone else's humour style is. So maybe I would have thought maybe, you know, leave the humour at home until at least you know what somebody finds funny. What not to do, okay? A couple of things what not to do on a first date. And you'd be surprised that people do these things, but it's, you know, certainly what not to do. Coming up in the next slide, I'm keeping on talking. Well, this is going to change. Right, okay. Talk about your ex. Oh, I miss my ex. She or he was so lovely. Or I hate my ex because they were so bad and they were crazy. Remember, your exes are your relationship CV. So, you know, don't go to a date to talk about your ex all the time. Maybe don't talk about politics and religion unless you met on, you know, votefortrumpsingles.com, something like that. I'm not sure that such a site exists, but, you know, certainly you avoid those kinds of topics. Maybe saying you've looked them up on social media, a bit creepy, don't do that. Okay, even though people do probably, because we're doing a little bit of research on what we call pre-searching of people. You can do that now, but it's not a cool thing to do, at least to admit that you looked up on social media. Don't engage in what we call fubbing behaviour. Fubbing is a portmanteau of phone snubbing. So you don't look at your phone. I was in a restaurant in Galway a couple of years back on Valentine's Day on my own. That's another story. But I saw lots of people sort of doing that. And finally, failing to realise what other people think of you. they might like you, they might not. You'd be surprised at the amount of people who really kind of miss those cues. They don't realise that other people actually like them, or that other people, really find it, terrible. Okay, so that's my little bit of advice on what to do on a first date. So thank you all very, very much for listening. Thank you.